Can you hear me now? Hey, Grail Blizzard, thanks very much. Can you hear me now? Should be able to hear me. Please tell me you can hear me. I can hear now. Fantastic. Thank you so much. At least I didn't forget to put the stream on this time. I need to go through all that other stuff again. Well, we can move on. Let's move on. So, I just want to point on this a while again. You're playing on the top board in round 8. You've got 90-90. Yes, okay, you've used 40 minutes already of his time. But you're already in a lot of trouble. So, did your prep go wrong? And we're going to have a look at it. Did your prep go wrong? Did you play a hasty move somewhere? I mean, I think if I'm playing the GM and I prep something and it hasn't gone according to plan, I'm going to go deep in the think tank to make sure I don't get myself into a lot of trouble. I'd rather, make a mistake in time trouble than when I've got the time, which is what we have here. He's got time and he's already in trouble. And take nothing away from Dragunov. He's a great player. He's played phenomenally in this tournament. He's outplayed his players. He's grinded his players. He's done everything. So you know this going in. You've seen his games. You know what he's capable of. And yes, the positions you do get against him are a little bit unconventional. So, the bottom line is that ideal? More than likely not. Panele versus Wayland. Yeah, it's going to be a tight game. Rogov versus Martin. Martin could be in a bit of pickle there. I'm just looking at the ratio bar, right? I'm not looking specifically too carefully. It looks like Toshido is pressed quite high up on the board, and look where that king is from. That's one. So I don't know if players are tired now, if fatigue's taking place, stamina's now an issue. We don't get a lot of these tournaments throughout the year, so, even as senior players, are they now struggling with this? It's going to be interesting to see. Casino versus Lagine, double pawn on the queen side. Bit of a problem. I mean, that pawn on B2 looks ominous, because you can take, and then you've got the B pawn, so, is this good or bad or indifferent? This is the catch here. Kenny versus Kenny. Again, I think Kenny wants to play a bit of expensive aggressive chess, and it might get him in a bit of trouble in the game. Keith against CJ. CJ's been playing well, had some really tough rounds, and now he's got another tough one against Keith, so that's going to be interesting. Peter Neeson against Samuels, double pawns, advanced pawns. Knights on B3 is always a nightmare for a player. Then we've got Shirai versus Keegan. Again, you've got a nice advanced pawn on A4. So it's like, I like how it's just slight advantage to white, but I think it's still pretty even, as far as concerned. Sabang versus James. That's a strange move, pushing the pawn E5. We'll come back to that now. Andrew McInnes holding against Charlton. And there's some weaknesses all over, so got to keep a look at that board there. And then Ibrahim versus Potkita, a very standard boring kind of position. I say standard boring, but that's because I don't like them. Right, let's go look at the Rogov. Let's start at the top and work our way down. So let's see. Well, let's go through the game in the beginning. So now you see, I have a problem with this. Why are you playing the Queen's Gambit Acceptor against a GM? Don't do it. We know it's not the best way to play against the Queen's Gambit. Play something solid. Play something, that's not going to get you into trouble early. I mean, obviously he knows this, and obviously he's got lines, and obviously he's going to squeeze for the business. So knight 3, not even worried about the pawn, knows exactly how to, I mean, this piece here, a4, is a typical response. That is an interesting move. I will say e6 is very interesting. And again, I always thought that the knight goes here, but here we go. We have the knight going here, takes, don't really care. Giving up the pawn and putting black under pressure. Yeah, look, knight c5 is looking interesting. Oh, bishop f4. Does bishop f4 do justice? Does bishop f4 do justice? I mean, bishop f, wow, bishop f4, the queen, where's the queen going? There? Then you've got that. If the queen goes there, you've got that. So I wonder if bishop f4 is, come on, bishop f4 has got to be the move for white here. Bishop f4, right? Bishop f4. Where's the queen going? Is that a drop? Is that a curtain? With bishop f4, if the queen goes here, then you've got knight here. I mean, I like knight there, but is it enough? Isn't it enough? I mean, bishop f4 there. We've even got knight check here, actually. Oh, yeah, look at that. Bishop f4, queen there, knight takes, pawn check. Come on, I have to do that. I have to go and press the button to tell me if bishop f4 is for me. Well, it's not, okay, so it is black to me, but, oh, is bishop f4 a threat? Is bishop f4 a threat? Yeah, he's going to play bishop c8, but then bishop f4. Yeah, you see, I told you. Yeah, Loazi, I think going for the exception here was a very bad choice from black. King's Indian, man, even played a Dutch, Nimza Indian, Brunfeld, anything, just not to be accepted. Definitely not an opening choice I would have played against Museum in round 8 of all rounds. Alright, let's have a look at Vanilla. Oh, look at this. He is real. These rooks on the files, they are real. They have some intention there. What is their intention? I'm not audible that well. Okay, hold on.
Testing. Is that better? Is that better? Malazi, is that better? Just let me know if that's better. Should be. Better. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, awesome. So like I said, in the Dragolov, the accepted variation, bad choice opening against the GM. You want to play a little bit solid. You want to play with some strategical ideas. Look, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. And maybe it's a case of the accepted better, but from an opening perspective, if you don't know all the ideas, it's a problem. So yeah, I think that was a bad choice. Opening selection by Loazi. Banella, if we look at this, we've got the quick g4. So the knight is a problem. The knight is a problem. Apart from the bishop, that's a problem. So Banella has some some problems here. He's got his knight and his bishop that can't really move. White's knight can't really move because it's defending f3, but you don't really need it, and you can't get this knight in. So two pieces that can't do anything. This bishop's looking great. He is looking at the square, you know, with some imperative value. So, ooh. But then it's going to have to wiggle-waggle against Wayland. Rogov has got a huge advantage against Martin already, so let's have a look. What's the advantage? So he's played this. Okay, so knight takes knight, pawn takes. I'm with you. I'm with you after pawn takes, but then where's this knight going? Where is this knight going? What is home base for this knight? Is it back here? But then you're blocking your bishop. Is it back here? Well, maybe that's it. Knight here, blocking these 2 pawns. Getting your rooks onto the file, and Bob's your uncle. And you can still play your bishop here when you need to. Might even be looking at things like b5, bishop b7. So Rogov's got a really nice position here. And obviously if he takes with the pawn, you take the queen. Take there. No, if he takes there, you take your mate. Sorry. He takes your mate. Easy days. So you have to take here. I do expect this take. And maybe knight g6, knight e5. Good place for the knight. Outposted, supported. The bishop can go to e6, or you can play b5, bishop e6, with the intention of f5 to come. So what if the bishop goes here? King goes h8. Mate! Mate on the board! Nico Martin walks into mate in 1. Unbelievable. He absolutely misses mate in 1. And there it is. Rogol finds it straight away. Straight away, mate on the board. Oh. You just got it. And then you can see them in the background there. You must be absolutely distraught. Walking into a mate in 1 like that. Enough. Good timing to be on the board though. Good timing. Just shows you mistakes happen. And again, I think fatigue and stamina are an issue for players here. Let's have a look at why is it like Benella is outplayed? Why is he taking time? So if we go to Benella's game, right? He's made his move. He's played Queen D7. He's taking his time. Heartbreak, absolutely heartbreak there, Malazzi. So this is the thing, right? You're in a tough situation, and Benella. I mean, you can look. If you look at the live stream from the tournament, you know, in the previous game, he had a bit more posture. He was a bit more, you know, confident in the board. He is. I won't say he's not confident, but he is definitely feeling the pressure of the position. So what you need to do is slow the position down and wriggle and wrangle and get your pieces into their best positions, and at the same time not make your position worse. So, you know, so let's say your position is -2, you got to keep it at -2, maybe get it to -1.5, maybe get it to -1. You know, slowly building those increments so that you can get back into it. At the same time, White's got to find the perfect move all the time. Yes, he's under pressure, but now how do I apply this pressure and get to the finish line? A lot of players can't do it. A lot of players struggle to do it. And especially when you know you're winning, it only takes one move and that position changes on its head. And that can only happen when your opponent is playing just as well. So taking time in those positions is critical. You know, too many times we just throw a position away. We don't need to. You know, you can fight and you can put pressure. And it exerts a lot of energy. A lot of energy. So this is going to be a really, 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 really tough game. Um, and hence the reason why I'm not saying Waynon's winning. I'm saying Waynon has a small advantage. His pieces are more active. He's got pressure on the king side. It's how is Vanilla going to hold and crawl back into the position. So that's the big difference. So yeah, so Rogov gets mated. Um, yes, it's Charlton also. But okay, guys, let's look again at the moves on the board. 29 moves made in 30 minutes of play. Okay? You can say 40, 50 minutes of play if you really want to, but I'm talking from one side of the clock. Charlton's played 29 moves effectively in 8 minutes. I know they get extra time, don't get me wrong, I understand that. But the point is, if you're playing at a minute a move, because that's effectively what you're doing, playing at about a minute a move, how much of the board are you seeing? How much of the board are you calculating? How much are you missing to get there? And I pick on both players here, not one, not picking on the winning, not picking on the losing, but both players. And what we do is a bad habit as players, especially in South African terms, is when we're in trouble, now we start to think. Well, why didn't we start thinking before we got to trouble? Why did we use that time before we got there? You know, we all do it. We all do it. I'm guilty of it. You know, you sit there and you're like, oh, this is the move, and bang, you play the move. Oh no, why didn't I take another 5 minutes to figure out that that move doesn't work? And this is what we have in a situation like this. And again, we're going to point out fatigue, the round. It's a double round. It's the second last round of the tournament. You've played 7 games. You've played 21 hours of chess. You're prepping, hopefully, in the background. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a victim of fatigue. He's young. He'll bounce back. That's not a problem. He's done really well. But stamina and fatigue in these tournaments, you know, maybe, I want to say maybe 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't such a big thing because there were more of these kind of tournaments and players were geared to play these long tournaments. But as of today, you're getting these type of tournaments once in a blue moon. And then you need those players to reach those peaks and play at that level. You know, when you're playing 60-60s on a Saturday, Saturday, 5 games, yes, you're playing 10 hours of chess, but are you playing 10 hours of chess or are you playing 10 hours of moving pieces? This is the real question. Here you can see in this tournament, the level has been exceptionally high. Yes, there's been 1 or 2 games where it happens. You're not going to have an excellent round of games all the way around. Someone is going to have an off day. We saw now Nico walking into mate, unfortunately, but walked into mate due to pressure. Okay, and probably fatigue. You know, you don't realize how tired you get doing this. And for example, I'm streaming this, right? I'm exhausted when I finish the stream, even though I do it for like 2-3 hours. I'm exhausted when I go and break away from this. Now, if I'm exhausted and I'm not even playing, how are the players feeling? Okay, so in a tournament like this, diets are important, sleep is important, prep is important, managing fatigue is important. All these things play a role in a tournament, and we don't realize that. We don't realize it. And when I say diet, I'm not saying, oh, you must follow this diet. You must follow the diet your body requires for that tournament. If you're a person who eats a ton of meat every day, you've got to have that meat energy coming through. If you're a person that eats a ton of vegetables, meat, you know, and routine. Routine is so important. As soon as that routine breaks, it's amazing what happens to your game. Your game breaks, you know. So these tournaments have loads of little aspects that you need to um, take into account. Let's put it that way. So what do we got? Queen E4. I mean, Toshido's taken 10 minutes on this move now. Okay, he's taken 10 minutes on this move. I don't know if we can see. See, very quick moves, and now he's thinking. It's a bit late. I mean, they always say better late than never, but it's a bit late. You've taken too much time. And that's... So, let's see here. Queen there, knight there, rook there. So when he played rook there, he took literally seconds to play that move, okay? 94. Then he took 3 minutes to find the move. That's the problem. If he had taken 3 minutes here, he wouldn't have walked into knight e4, right? If he had taken 3 minutes here, he wouldn't have walked into this move. But he rushed it, and now he's an exchange down. Not saying he is losing. Not saying he can't come back from this, but it is harder to come back. It's a little bit easier to win drawing games than it is to win when you're losing. You need your opponent to make an inaccurate move to get you back into the game, right? Desano versus Lodikin. Let's have a look here. Again, 17 moves. Okay, they're a bit slower now. 17 moves, 30 minutes, 40 minutes played by one player is a bit slower. Hey, chess doctors, what's cracking? What is crack-a-lackin'? So, yeah, where we now? Oh yeah, so bishop c2. Thanks, man. Thanks, I appreciate that. I try. I definitely try and look good where I can. Not dead yet, or hiding, or anything. Still trying to play chess. Not so good at it, but still trying. So bishop c2. Oh yeah, so g4 is played. Bishop c2. And again, I think it's to play bishop b3. Oh! Oh! Guys, excitement! Sergey picking up the win quickly, there it is. And we knew it was coming. Oh my gosh, 98, what a horror. I can't let that message go through with all the swearing, dude. I can't let the message go through all this, but thanks that I look healthy, I do appreciate it. I got it, yeah, I saw. But I just can't let the swearing come through, dude. Even when I'm streaming, I try not to swear. Sometimes you want to go, oh my heaven, you know. See, oh my heaven instead of the other one. You get it? Yeah, you get it. 98, what a disgusting move. Yeah, 98, absolutely. What a disgusting move. And I mean, bishop f4 is always coming. And that's it, yeah. Yeah, not yet. I mean, well, he didn't really, eh? 120, 117. So it would be 8. Bishop there. He played 98 quickly. He played 98 very quickly. And paid the price. I don't think it was 10 minutes. I'm looking at the wrong clock. That's why. Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong clock. 57. 57. Yeah, 10 minutes. I get you. Yeah, sorry. I was looking at the wrong clock. I was looking at the GM's clock. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Absolutely. Yeah, 10 minutes to play 98. Fatigue. I'm telling you, fatigue is a killer in this tournament. Fatigue is killing players now. You know, Nico was the one that gave him probably one of the hardest games. Banana tried his best. But I also think, like, when he played Nico, I wouldn't say he let his guard down a bit, but he did play one. You like he didn't play the blitz? But, again, how clever is that? He's playing in a 1990 tournament there's an off period, there's a blitz playing, he doesn't play. What does that tell you? Like, seriously, what does that tell you about the player? It tells you that even at GM level, to go play a blitz in an event like that is not worth it. You tire yourself out. You should be resting. No, no, no. I applaud him for not playing the blitz. Rather focus on this and, and finish players off. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's happening in Charlton? Okay, we're still waiting after night C2. He heard you were coming. He's like, nah, I'm going to go and rest, eat food, um, tour the, what's it? Tour Capetown, go walk on the beach. You guys can all play chess. What's happening in Maniaste, Tanzania? Okay, we're still thinking. I would assume Bishop B3. I don't see why Bishop B3 wouldn't be played. Mainly to keep pressure on this pawn. That would be my thinking. Also, it can always go back to D6, cover C8. So yeah, and this is also nasty. E5 is just nasty. Bishop here, E5, bang. Who's your daddy? Say hello to my pawn. Let's go have a look. Let's have a look at. I have absolutely no information on the GM whatsoever, to be honest. I did ask for information in the plan. Maybe he found himself a Capetown lady, eh? Maybe he's young. Maybe he's found himself a Capetown lady and had to come and explore the fruits of Capetown. You never know. You never know what the story is. I don't think he's just down to play the tournament because that doesn't make any sense. So I'm pretty sure. He said in the interview he was there to celebrate New Year with friends, then saw the tournament. Ah, okay. Yeah, I should play some of those interviews. I listened to some of them. I was like, okay. So a GM has friends, does he? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But that's good that he came to see some friends in Capetown and saw the tournament played. Very, very, very impressive. Definitely, will make some contacts and there'll be some I don't know, maybe some work. So yeah, Kenny under pressure as always. No, not as always. Just teasing Kenny. I'm allowed to tease Kenny. There's certain players I can tease. He knows I don't mean anything by it, so that's good. Some people, if you tease them, they might get upset. So, you see, I hate positions like this. Like, I really do hate positions like this because, like, what are you gonna do? I mean, okay, granted, me now, if I look at this position, I'm going, king on the queen side. Attack, attack, attack. But I don't know if attacking is such a good idea. And this G4 and F4 is quite nice because I can't play G5 and E5 and get my bishop in, which I really, really want. But knight C5 could be interesting with B5. No, I think that the youngsters have done well. The youngsters have done relatively well. They played some really good chess. I think as the tournament got older, they started to struggle. And again, it's because they don't. Yes, then dropped Rogov this morning. So you got to take it for once they come. Yes, they're good. Do they have the stamina for these long tournaments? Probably not. Are they going to learn and get stronger from this? 100%. 100%. So, I mean, the youngsters have done relatively well. Well, I wouldn't say Jan and Leviton are standing still. Those ratings have, they've grown so much. And don't forget that Jan is the youngest international master that South Africa's produced. So he's got time to get his GM. But again, for them to get those GM norms, and I say Jan and Leviton in particular, for them to go and push for those GM norms, it, it's going to take them. It's going to take them a while because they Young got the title because of doing well in one of the international tournaments. Now he's got to do well every time he plays in those international tournaments. He's got to get his rating. He can't get his rating up in South Africa because there aren't enough of those caliber players to give rating to him. I mean, if he plays in a tournament, he'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 rating points against some of the players. So, the big thing is that I'll challenge that. He will get to 2-5, but he's going to get to 2-5 slowly. He'll get to 2-5, but he'll get to 2-5 slowly. He's strong. He's strong, and the problem is that in order to get to 2-5, he's going to have to spend 6 to 8 months overseas. And while he's still got school and stuff, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So, I mean, I was with him at African Youth 2 years ago when he played, and man, oh man, the guy, he knows his stuff. He really knows his stuff, and he spends a good time on his chess as well. So, out of the youngsters, like he will excel. It's just not going to be. It's not going to be fast. You're not going to get it here in South Africa. And okay, so there is one way he can get his GM title. 100% way. He needs to go play African individuals. That's it. And he's probably you're missing one. So Manatsi, for me, if it's simple, it's actually doing a study on this, on what 2-3 is like to 2-5. The main things are evaluation, skills, and endgames. I'm going to add one thing in there, Chess Doctor. I'm going to add one thing in there. Okay? Intuition. South African players' intuition is not great. And there's a reason for the intuition not being great, because the level of play you need to play for your intuition to grow is not here. If he's planning a year in Europe, dude, he's going to chop players there. I'm going to use a South African phrase. He's going to chop players there. What about discipline? You mean discipline, Latsi? Discipline comes within. Yeah, I thought you meant discipline. The discipline comes with discipline comes with, studying evaluation, studying skills. That your discipline is in that. There's another thing that you need to excel, right? It's not just, understanding, evaluating, and ending. Not just that. I agree that those things need to be in there, 100%. It's not just that, but it's also the ones, and you need to have the type of players to bypass to get there. And within the chess circuit, we are very small knitted in the strength of players that are available to play against. And because these players know they're so good and you're so far behind them, it is very difficult for them to excel. Agreed, chess doctors, yeah. Intuition is built on evaluation knowledge, lacking the skills to evaluate properly and not to understand the endgames. So, I agree with you. Endgame play in general is not great in South Africa. In general, I'm not saying everyone's bad at it. In general, it's a problem. let's look at training as an aspect. Why is endgames so? Why why is it not at the forefront? Because when you're training, in general, people want to train. They want to know their opening. Um, People want to know their opening. Now that's very important. But here's the catch: when people study the opening, they go study moves, right? They go look. Oh, in this position, I must play c5. But I don't know why they must play c5. The book said, so I must play c5, so I'll play c5. So when I get to this position, I play c5. So then what happens is they get the position that is supposed to be good for them, but they can't use it because they don't know the plan. So they spend a lot of time studying openings. They spend a lot of time engine studying, which is very, very bad. Engine studying is probably one of the worst things you can do for your chess. So they do a lot of engine studying, a lot of opening studying, and then they think that, well, if I'm 3,000 on chess.com or 3,500 on chess.com with my tactics, I'm really good at tactics. No, you're not. You're very good at just solving a puzzle. The tactics in the puzzle, unless you're doing it right, it doesn't make sense. Um, so so there's a lot of things, and again, this is what makes good coaches good and other coaches average. And we have an abundance of coaches in South Africa. Some are good, some are bad, some are just shouldn't be coaching really. Um, but they coach, so they teach tricks. They teach uh, simple, really mundane things to kids, and then when that kid moves on to the next coach, and the coach goes, "Well, do you know what a pin is? No. Do you know what a skewer is? No. Oh, okay. How about this? Do you know what costling is? you know, it's not going backwards. So what do you know? Um, so they make parents happy in the short term. Absolute, and that statement right there is the killer for everything. I'm very lucky, and I say I'm very lucky because when I pick up students, I say to the parents, don't expect a change in your rating or anything like that for a while. Because his game's going to change, the way he thinks is going to change, his opening is going to change because of the way he's going to learn to play it. All these things are going to make it difficult for him to get wins and be the top, you know. But once they go through the structure, all of a sudden, oh wait, hang on, she's now they're flying. But patience is key. But we all want the quick win, you know. Oh, my Johnny must beat Pity in this tournament. Why? Why must Johnny beat Pity in this tournament? What is special about this? It's a weekend tournament, so what's special about this tournament? No, he mustn't lose to him. He must beat him. No, he must play the best chess he can. Whether he wins or loses is irrelevant. If he wins, great. If he loses, what did he do wrong? I did see that article. Did you see the 2025 improvement challenge thing? Articles of different levels, 1,000 to 1. But I do disagree to some degree on some of the rating levels on what you need to improve. Um, from 1,700 to 2,000, 2,000. I do disagree to some degree, not completely, because I think those things need to be covered, but they should be more into it. Look, I think for players in general, you know, you need to know. For a stupid example, you need to know rook and pawn endings that they come out of your backside, right? When you go to sleep, positions in the board, you can do it in your sleep. Rook and pawn endings. They're the most common and hardest end games to play. We saw in this tournament rook and three pawns versus rook and three pawns, and rook and three pawns won. How? I don't know. We saw a rook versus a bishop, and if you understand the end game, you realize you need to do something with the pawns and let the rook do its magic, and the bishop outplayed the rook. How? Well, because you didn't study it properly. A, you didn't activate your king. B, you didn't bring your rook. Guys, like, and don't get me wrong, rook and pawn endings. Anyone can say this. They're boring. And you've got to remember so much. Attack on the short diagonal, attack on the short file, attack on the short rank, long rank defense. Oh man, it's madness. But it's got to be covered, it's got to be done. It's the same as queen and pawn. I can guarantee you, people get to queen and pawn endings. No clue. I mean, I played Mojo 2-3 years ago, and take an example puzzle as says, solving puzzles doesn't necessarily equate to good tactics in the game. If you practice puzzles the right way, then you'll get built into your game. Yeah. So building on what you say there, Chess Doctors, is that you get a puzzle. So chess.com puts a puzzle up on the board. Boom. Right. Now, you haven't set the setting, so you don't know it's a pin, you don't know it's a skewer, you don't know it's an in-between move or a remove a guard or anything, so it's just a puzzle. Okay, and what do you go? What's the best move here? That's the first thing you do. What's the best move? You don't go, all right, where are the pieces, right? Are there any pieces on the same diagonal? Because that's always interesting. Okay, are any pieces in the same file? Do I have diagonal pieces or do I have straight line pieces? Is the king exposed? Are the pawn structures stuffed? No one looks at it like that. They go, what's the best move? Oh, it must be this. And they get it wrong and they have, okay, so what's the answer? Oh, it's that. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Boom, boom, and they move on to the next one. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. So there is a good way to do puzzles and there's a bad way to do puzzles. And, you know, if I'm honest with myself, I do puzzles the bad way. I do it before I go to bed, and the reason I go and I do 20, 30 puzzles before I go to bed at night is one reason I'm tired. And when I'm tired, I can't see things. So if I'm tired in the tournament, I will be able to concentrate to recognize patterns. That's the reason I do it, not any other reason. And I don't care if I get 25 puzzles right or 30 puzzles right, but I strain myself because I'm tired. I want to see the pattern, so I look for patterns while I'm doing it. And that's the big difference. That's the real big difference. Not my way is the only way. What is the right way to solve puzzles in my mind? So there isn't, I won't say there's a right and a wrong way, but what I would suggest is when you're solving a puzzle, look for the patterns. Okay? So let me give you, for example, pins. Pins are on diagonals and files. It is with a small piece generally attacking a big piece with a small piece behind it. So you start looking for the patterns. You start looking for a king and queen on the same diagonal, or a rook and a knight on the same file, or, you know, you start looking for different patterns. Because here's something that people don't really realize. Pins, not only are they in every single chess game, okay? It's not a chess game that doesn't go by where a pin doesn't appear. Some are good, some are bad, doesn't matter, it appears, okay? But when it comes to pins, did you know that pins are replicated in just about every single tactic? You're going to go, how is that possible? You've got discovered attacks, double attacks, simultaneous attacks, forks. I said, just about every single tactic is derived from a pin, because what is the core factor of a pin? Attacking along a straight line. That's all it is. It's attacking along a straight, and I say straight line. We are, obviously diagonals are included, files are included, ranks are included. Okay? Attacking along the straight line. And as soon as you, and when you're solving tactics, as soon as you start recognizing weaknesses on lines, then you can start, you know, picking out which tactic it is, whether it's a discovered attack, whether it's an X-ray attack, which is support of a pin, whether it's a double check or a discovered check, or removing the guard. Removing the guard, famous one. People always miss removing the guard. Okay? all these things are all based on straight lines. As soon as you can identify lines on the board, it makes it easier. Yeah, for example, that thing says, but when you do a pass, I first want to look at your opponent is threatening anything. I know we're supposed to look for something from them, but always look at what they can do, builds it in, so that you do it also when your move gets played. Brilliant way to also explain it. Yes, look at the threats in the position, because sometimes, sometimes the position is he's threatening mate, but now you pin his queen because now he can't mate because you've been focused on the fact that the queen is mating. So you're looking at you can take the queen, must block the queen, pin the queen. Simple. It's a stupid simple example, but it is a good way to go about it as well. Definitely look at what are the threats in the position. What the heck is Lynn doing? Okay, let's go have a look at what Lynn's doing. Where is Lynn? Oh. Knight c4. Knight c4. Let's have a look at. Hang on, isn't that losing a piece? No, sure, the rook is there. The rook is there. Go back? Where do you want to go back here? Oh, c5. Oh, c5. I didn't see c5. Sorry, I was chatting too much. c5. And I agree with you, wrong side of the ball. Why wasn't f4 considered? Just an example. Why isn't f4 considered? Why isn't h4 considered? Because this is where you need to be, right? This is where you want to be. Black doesn't have, you don't want to open up the center too much because you don't want this bishop to come in. So maybe you were h4, h5 type of idea. But c5? What is that? What is c5? I mean, you're just giving away a pawn. Thanks. Knight c5. And the thing is, players like Kenny here are going to use their power, right? There's an attack there. I mean, that's irrelevant. There's an attack. Okay, so he's looking for this, but now I want to know, can't I get away with d5? Can I get away with d5? Takes. No, I can't. Knight b4. Hit the queen. Yeah, I like that. Ah, yes. Knight b4, then d5. Yes. Knight b4, then d5. Absolutely. But again, look at the. So Malachi, that's a good way of looking at the plan. I want to play d5, right? I really want to play d5. So I look at d5, pawn takes, knight takes. Ooh, too much. That's a problem. Then Cheslotus goes knight b4. Wait, knight b4 defends. But now also with knight b4, I can play bishop d6. Then I can look or I can play d5 takes and then bishop d6. And then I have both my bishops looking. So I've got ideas on top of plans. So, yeah, knight b4. What on earth? I don't know if Kenny's going to play knight b4, to be honest. I'm curious to see if he will. But knight b4, bishop takes, knight takes queen. That's okay. So knight b4. Remove your queen. Yeah, but if you go knight d4, so here's my logic behind knight d4, right? Knight d4, the queen moves, immaterial where the queen moves. Let's say queen here. Yeah, let's say queen here for argument's sake. Pawn push, takes. You can't take me. Okay, you do have h3. Okay, so that makes sense. a3, you do have a3. So maybe d5 is not the move just yet. But knight b4, because the d6 pawn is weak. That is the problem. So how do you solve the d6 pawn problem? Because that's one way, but then the queen's going to move, and he's threatening a3. Oh, but hang on. Hang on. Hang on. If I go knight before queen e2, still I have to play d5, then a3. Oh, he can't go queen e2. Hold on, he's got to go queen b1. Wait, you can't go queen e2 here. Wait. Knight b4, he is forced to play queen b1. Because if he goes queen e2, he can never play a3 because of knight c5 check. You're just being nasty with knight a2. Knight there, here. If you play knight takes, like knight takes here. No, but you take knight e2 and then knight b3 anyway. Same idea. Absolutely, yes. So no, but you see, I was looking at knight b3, queen e2, d5, a3, and then knight here. Okay, so queen b1. So knight here, queen b1. Now I can play this. I want to share. Whoa, hold on. Let me just show this. So knight b4, queen b1, d5, a3, knight b3 checkmate. I see bishop c5 now. Yes, I see bishop. But look, there's a lovely little checkmates on b3. All right. So knight b4, queen b1. Still have the problem with d6. So how do we solve the d6 problem? Do we solve it or do we say stuff it? That's the question. Do we solve it or do we say stuff it? Me personally, I'm going to go, let's say, stuff it. Because I can't see how... Ooh. If this queen was not on d8, you had the option of this. No, knight b4. That's disgusting. I want to play knight there. Any move but knight b7. Please, any move but knight b7. I want to play knight b7. Any move, but... Like, I'm seriously thinking, let's just give the pawn away. Have it. Just have the pawn, man. But I think knight b4 must be significant here. So knight b4, queen b1, because that puts the queen out of tension. If only I could get... Shit. Bishop c5 is nasty. There, six. Oh, you know, with knight b4 you have knight d3, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Oh. Bang, how's that? Bang, bang. There's 3 freaking pieces here. Vanilla looks like he's in a bit of pickle. We'll have a look at Vanilla in a second. We also need to look at Suje and Kamalu. Another game, Peter and Ethan taking out Sammy and Ethan's has come through as well. Oh, it's my neck, you muppets. It's my neck. So I'll sew you in a minute. I'll sew you into the ground. We're looking at Kenny Willenberg versus Lin Chenyi. Kenny is black. What do you think black should play? Let's see what you come up with. Knight b4, queen b1. I want knight. No, knight e6. Rook takes d6, queen c7. And I have no idea what's going on. You see, I'm in that boat. I'm also in that boat. I mean, you got queen c7. I'm looking at queen e7. But I mean, I suppose it's, it's much of a muchness when you're giving away a pawn. 96. Wow. Okay, so we are giving away the pawn. It is now clear that the pawn is gone. Cheers, child, sayonara. I'm going to do this. I want to know what the engine says. So the engine, we are right on knight b4. There. So there you go. Knight b4, you've got it. 96. 96. Not rook takes d6, knight takes d6, they suggest. Then bishop a7. Yeah, no, that's too complicated, man. That's too complicated. Let's just stick with this bishop b6. But now white has an advantage because if rook takes d6, it's got to play queen b8. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I don't get why it's okay for black there. I don't. This is problematic. Bishop e6 was. He played. Yeah, bishop e6. I wonder if he's missed knight takes, rook takes. And that. Yeah. And. Oh. I don't know. Is he hoping for this and then queen c7? Rook b8. I don't know. I think he's giving Lin a bit of an advantage here. A little bit of an advantage. And considering one player got snap mated, my knight b4, knight b3, mate could have happened. I'm just saying, it could have happened. I must admit that knight b4, knight e6, I didn't see the knight e6 idea, to be honest. But then again, I was stuck on, I want to play d5. See, you want to put your knight on d4, I want to play d5. Bishop takes, knight takes, knight here, yeah. And you can't play this. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Get what you're saying. Rook takes, queen somewhere. Bishop takes, knight a4. Just looks nasty. Oh. I want to go have a quick squiz at vanilla quickly. Knight a4 right away. Nah. No, stop being dirty. All right, let's look at this. Well, they say bishop on h8 is strong, right? Any ventures on how strong that bishop on h8 is right now? Oh my gosh! Oh, I have to go back to see what we saw knight g5. This is where we were. Bishop h8, queen pawn takes. Oh my gosh! And the problem is you cannot play this move. No, there's a lot of counterplay. Yeah, I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, wow, bishop on. I'm just pointing out the bishop on h8. It is just, it's dead, right? You might as well take that bishop, put it on the side of the board, and that's it. when you got three pieces out of play here, effectively. Yes, I know that that's defending. Yeah, no, look, Banana is a really good guy. Banana is a really good player. You expect him to call sometimes in a position. Um, Black, I think this queen move is a waste. F4. Because the thing is, even if the pawn goes, yeah, you can just go king here. You don't have to worry about after pawn takes what to do. You know, you can. You've got to be hitting this area with everything you've got, and at the moment um, this pawn is strong for Banele. Absolutely, there should have been something better. I mean, it's that when I look at the camera, I think Queen E8. I don't know. I get you got to defend A4 with the idea Queen E8, Rook here. Who knows where this bishop's going to go? With the idea of swinging the bishop, or maybe Queen E8, Bishop E8. Yeah, Bishop E8 as well. I like the Bishop D7 move more, to be honest. I do like the Bishop. And the reason why I like it a little bit more, it's A, is it activates the Bishop, and well, I would be careful about bringing this Queen in here. I'd be careful. I'd be careful one day. Pawns, bring it. Yeah, okay, so Queen C7, I'm looking at A3. A3 with the idea of bishop here, swinging and bringing my rook. I'm happy to have your king open. Like, in fact, in this position, these pieces are dead because they can't break here. There's enough defense. Rook on B8 hanging. That's not fair. You can't have my rook hanging. Okay, so let's think of it. So the rook is hanging. So let's think logically. Because I really think that if the queen and the rook can get on these files, this king's in trouble. This piece is out of play. That piece is out of play. Got nowhere really to go. And this must be daunting. This must be daunting. So let's say queen takes, right? Let's say queen takes. And let's say logically you play rook c8. Queen's going to go back again, right? How are you going to get more pieces in? This is the problem. Yeah. No. I saw queen b6. Queen b6. I'm just trying to figure out. What about this? What about? It's tough for black, but I think black has more counterplay than white does. If he can find the way to unjuggle these pieces. checks. I want checks. And I think bishop e7 was played because he wants to play c5. Because of the advanced pawns, the advanced black pawns. Agreed. You can't go to an endgame here. No, you can't trade queens. The queen is vital for the attack on the queen side, because you want to have your queen on b7 and you want this rook here. Yes, you've got this problem, that's fine, but you've got the rook and the knight covering and the king covering if so needed. And the bishop can always go to f6 if it needs to. He's thinking hard. I'm pretty sure he wants to take that pawn. I'll get my queen in. By hook or by crook, I'll get my queen in. What do you say? Have a look. What? Oh. So let me just show you the line that they're talking about. Here, A3. If you take C3. Yeah. So A3, knight C3. A takes B. King takes. I'm definitely playing queen e8 here. I'm playing queen e8 here. But yeah, there might be 6 pawn drops. Hey. Not easier. So queen takes, rook c8, queen b6. Let's see. Ooh. 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 But now I can play queen d8. Now I can play queen d8. And soon my queen will come to. And soon my queen will come to. Because I can get my queen when I need her. Now queen d8. But even bishop e8 here is solid as well. I like this. Bishop e8 and I can swing my queen to b2. Yeah, it's not so easy for white and black here. And I want to point out, black's going to be playing with 3 pieces here. Black's going to be playing with 3 pieces here. White's only playing with 1. Can we just note that white is playing with 1 at the moment. But bishop e8 is a tough move to see. I think bishop e8 is really tough to see. You don't think that he's playing with? I said he's playing with two pieces. I didn't say 3 pieces were helping. I said he's playing with 2. I didn't say 3 were helping. The third piece hasn't moved yet. The third piece is just there. Alright, let's go look at why Shido. Yeah, no. White is absolutely bust in this position. Only if black makes a major mistake does he have chances. Rook check is always dangerous. Queen here, threatening bishop here, check. Bishop here is also nasty because you're hitting that. I know you can't play there because of knight takes, but I'm just looking at potential threats for now. Oh, yes, I know the knight as well. But just, well, the knight can't really, you can't. Can't really because you just drop your queen. So wait, hang on. Doesn't it lead to mate? Here, the queen has to move. No doubt. So let's say the queen goes there. No, can't go there. Queen has to go here. Queen has to go here. Okay, so c4 was played. Rooks. I don't know if that's... Is it necessary? Oh, you see, he wants to do this. Bishop here. If he takes, queen takes, picks up the pawn, and then he's got his ladder system for the rook. I'm sure this is interesting. Oh, but then I played queen d8. And then I played queen d8. Which is interesting. Told you bishop e8 was tough. Now rook f6. Can't play knight yet, takes the queen. Has to play king here. Bishop here. King here. But then you've got rook here. Good night, Irene. Yeah, so I'm expecting bishop here. Expecting it. Yeah, practically winning. No. I mean, in that game, you want to trade as much as you can and get those pawns rolling, right? Ooh, nasty pin. Queen's going to c7. Wait, but then the game is heating up. Hold on, let's go. So, what's cracking on here? What did he play? So, rook c8, queen a5, queen c7, queen b4, queen c7. Yeah, this is problematic. This is problematic because now the queen is in the game, and now rook b8 is a threat, and a is a threat, and yeah, knight c3. I get it. Ooh. Really? With patience. I want to know why he doesn't go queen b7, b2 here. Honestly speaking. No, definitely. He's definitely hunting for some trouble. And he has the... What happened here? No, he picks up a piece. That's why. Okay. No, this is still going to be a long game. It's going to be a grinder. But I think that Banana's going to grind, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 and get to the win. Johnson and Chishido. Oh! Bye-bye, Queen. Bye-bye, Queen. Bye-bye, Queen. No. Eish. How's that Queen tasting? Like fish and chips. But no, how do you stop this? How do you stop this? There he's played it, so I would assume queen here, king there, no, you don't have to worry. Your king can go here, here, and here, and stand there and just park the bus. Yeah, d6, but you go king here. Yeah, but knight d5, you play queen here, check. Queen here, check. No, I'm not taking the knight. I just want my king to stand on. I want my king to stand on d7. If my king goes and stands on d7, how will you defend? Oh, crikey! The knight goes there, and if you take queens, oh, crikey! Knight b6 is disgusting. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. You go check there. That doesn't work. You go check there. Hold on. Let's work a little bit of magic here. Let's go check here. Right? Yeah, once the knight gets b6, but we're not going to allow the knight to get b6. We're going to try and figure out how to get the knight away from b6. So check here. What about not checking? What about just pinning? No, I know you're going to go hide. I want a way you're going to go hide. Black king is too far away. Every variation I look at, this black king's too far away. I'm trying to think if there was another way to do this. Oh, that's what he missed. Is that what he missed? Check here. Maybe not. One check there. Now I'm looking at queen d2, but then king here. You can't take the pawn. Hold on. There. So there. I didn't have to move the queen. What am I doing? There, 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 and he's covering that square. That's the problem. He's covering that square. No, I'm just trying to see if I can get the king there in time. You know, looking at the foreground, not worried that there's other stuff there now. Can the king get there? So the king move is not the move here. But then this game is changing as well. What is the? Here's queen c5. No, bishop g4 will definitely look better. He saw winning the queen. That's all he saw. But queen here, king f1, g6, knight d5, king g7, knight e7. Okay, but hang on. Knight e7, I can just do this. Surely. There, and take here. Okay? And if he goes here, queen b5, queen b5, queen b1, queen b1 check. I mean, this is tough to see, to be honest. Here, queen takes a2. No rush to take that knight, because you can always pick that knight up. So ideally take the pawn, pick up the pawn, pick up the pawn. Jeez. Queen c5. I mean, that was the first move we looked at, was queen c5. But the interesting move is g6, king g7. That is the interesting. Sure, that's crazy. Can we look at Banele quickly again? I know we're popping on Banele a lot. So queen c3. Yeah, the breakthrough is tough though. Breakthrough is tough. So, do you look at here, or rook here, or rook here, whichever, and then bishop f6, start untying your pieces? Yeah. Yeah, the one's a3. That's what I said. Rook b8, bishop f6, without the edge of it. And again, you're just trying to get rid of one of the attackers, so that means that you've got extra attackers on the queen side. White's going to find this position tough to play, to be honest. White's going to find it tough to play. See what's happening in Kenny's game? Oh, whoa, let's go back. Hold on, we missed a few things here. That was... Let's go... Here, yeah. There's a knight a4, takes, bishop back, puts the pawn. Yeah, this is not pretty. I mean, after all that, he's just the pawn down in this position with an open king. It's really not so bad. I can think of worse positions. Bishop takes c5. Yeah. Oh, you want to play knight a4 now? Knight a4. Knight takes knight. Knight takes knight. Queen takes. Pawn's hanging. Bishop here. Rook takes. Back to the same position. How do you win the piece? Yeah, I think it just goes back to the same position, eh? Knight d6. And that's clever because what he wants to do is play knight takes and then bishop in. Very clever move. Bishop a6 check. A3 was played on the Panele board. And then f4. After bishop f6, f4. So what you guys know. Shuja and Keith. Wow. No, but bishop takes bishop check. Bishop takes bishop check. So. Oh dear. Oh dear. But this should be drawn. Or am I hoping for miracles for white here? So where did he stuff up? Was it before this? What move was he winning? $41. King H7 bad. Oh, it's 41. Okay. Let's see, why is King H7 bad? Just push pawns. But where are you going to push the pawn? Here, H5. I think this is still very drawish dodge from this position. I mean, I must admit, I like this. I don't know. I don't like that move. I don't like that move. I get why he's played it. I don't like it. Keith is struggling in this tournament, eh? This should still be drawn, in all fairness. But Shuja is black. Oh, Sujay's black. The king h7. Oh, sorry, I was analyzing from white. Yeah, man, can't you just push this pawn here? And push? Isn't that the way to go? Oh my gosh. Okay, but I mean, white's going to play well for the draw here. Okay, that's a problem. Can't you just push the pawn? Can't you just push the pawn? Because then you're in a bit of zugzwang. Ah, but then there's perpetual. B5, C4. Okay, I'm with you, Dodge. Yeah. Because end games, Dodgy. End games. Okay, let's look at Samuel. Samuel's is finished. Let's look at Palmer. You know, when you start looking at pieces and you see they're all around. Where's this knight going? It's going there. Bishop takes, knight takes, things are coming. Yeah, no, listen. Well, I mean, that's a knight guy. It's just... Okay, no, Palmer's got that in the bag. So Bang and Denon. Interesting. I think Banele is squeezing the win, guys. Let's go have a quick look at Banele. There's a draw now. Yeah, he thought he can get his king closer. He needed to calculate that properly. I think that, and again, I think the move that was missed is knight b6 or knight b6, knight e7. I think they're both interchangeable there, but it was definitely missed the threat. Because logically, you need to get your king to e7, right? That's logically where your king needs to go, and we didn't get that. And he also doesn't realize that you can allow the queen and pick up the knight and the pawn. He didn't pick that up either, which would have been the reason why g6, king g7 would have been played. Let's have a wow. How's them apples? 3 pawns. You know as well. How do you like them apples? Takes. Yeah, it should be a draw. I've seen crazier things happen that this lands up winning because the player won't sack the piece for the pawn. Sure. McInnes has really used his time. Oh, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Sherwin's used his time. I'm getting the times wrong today. Wow. Let's have a look at this. It's always interesting. Knight doesn't have anywhere to go. Knight might want to go there. Okay. I'm going to flip back to Bonello's game. Oh, you want to say Lynn's game, eh? Lynn. Oh, we're going to get the... Oh, careful here. Careful here. Lynn might fall for a horrible tactic. Look at this. Knight check. Rook takes. Queen takes. Queen check. Pick up the rook. I hope he doesn't play it. I hope he doesn't play knight f7. Okay, so he's played rook there. But he's still prepping to play this. Watch this. You know, check this out. He's going to play here. Okay. Watch this. Watch this space. He's going to play here. Knight's going to go. He's going to take the knight. The queen's going to go thinking it's mate. Check. Pick up this rook. Watch this space, man. Yeah, no. If you play, rook d1 is no, 100%, 100%. But it is funny, right? It is funny. What about just playing rook b8? Yeah, rook takes, queen takes, and then I've got still queen here, check. At least rook b8 is hitting b2. Oh, with rook. Oh, with rook. Ah, it's the rook. Nasty rook, that one. Well, I suppose h7 stops it. But you do have f5 coming. You do have f5 coming with this, and especially if you can get rook b8. If you can get rook b8 and you can open this diagonal, it's going to look interesting. just want to have a look at Sujay, how they're holding there. Oh, Sujay, what you doing? Don't allow the queen and pawns to move. They're going to hurt you. Isn't it a draw though? King here. I'm trying to think what he's trying to do, right? Check here. Check here. Check here. Here. Check. Maybe get his king here. The queen needs to come to the square. I think a draw was agreed. Now let's have a look here. I think Manele and Lawazi drew. Yep, Lawazi and Lawazi drew. Now let's go to the end game. We spoke about end games today, so. Seems to be an issue on board 4. Oh, threefold repetition. Threefold repetition on board 4. But he's played it wrong. Before he plays Queen C5, he had to put up his arbiter, he had to put up his hand, write his move on the score sheet, then claim threefold. There's no threefold now. Now he's going to play another 2 more times. Well, I don't think he has to play another 2 times. I think he has to play it again. So his opponent moves, and before he makes his next move, if it's the same position, it's the law though. That's how you claim that's how you claim a 3-4 draw. Why is the Shido's clock ticking? Oh, maybe it's just an internet. But it is a threefold. Definitely, that's the threefold move. But where was the king when you played? It's not threefold. It's not threefold. It's too early. Because the king was on F2. So it's not threefold yet. It's not threefold yet. It's not threefold yet. I'm curious. I want to see. Because the king is on F2. See that? The king's on F2. Then he goes to E2, B5. Now it starts. E3, C5. That's one position. E2, C4. That's another one position. King E3, King C5. That's the second time that that's happened. So it's not threefold. It's not threefold. But I want to see. Because we can see the arbiter there. You can see them talking in the background, guys. It is not threefold repetition. It is not threefold repetition. And again, this should be done quickly. This isn't difficult.
I
Yes, you can. You gorgeous boy. So this is interesting. And I'll tell you what the argument is. I know exactly what the argument is. I played Queen C5 3 times, therefore it's a draw. Threefold position, repetition of position, not your move. The position has to be the same. So, but look how long it's taking. This is taking far too long. I would have been there and been like, no, guys, it's not draw. Look, position one, position one, position one, position two, position one. Easy, no draw. Ooh. But it could be the case that the player doesn't understand the 3-4. He thinks he's played the position 3 times. Well, his queen's been on the same position 3 times. Why is it a thing? Both players know it's a draw anyway, so what are they fighting for? Well, effectively just off with a draw now, right? Just off with a draw. It's after 30 moves, so you can now off with a draw. If your opponent doesn't take the draw, well, then you play the 3-4. Absolutely. But it's not 3-4. I like how Ricardo, wait. 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 Nah, it's not 3-fold, Ricardo. Someone tell Ricardo it ain't a 3-fold. That's what it is. It's not 3-fold, guys. It's really not 3-fold. But I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. It's not 3-fold repetition. He's adamant it's 3-fold. It's not 3-fold. The king is on F2, guys. There's no 3-fold here. You know, and it's sad when players don't understand the rule and they don't understand the making of the rule and what it interprets. And the big thing is that when Queen C5 is played, the king is on F2. So that's one. That's one. Oh, that's one. That's one. That's two. Let's see what happens. It shouldn't be a draw, they should be playing. Oh, that is the funniest. Oh, oh, you gotta enjoy it. He sucks. He sucks. You gotta love it.
Cut
You gotta love it.
What are the issue? Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so no threefold there, baby.
Easy.
No, you just missed drama with a threefold repetition. Queen e6. Maybe he's protecting f5. I do like rook b8, eh? Rook b8 is calling for days. Rook b8 is calling for days. Come on, Kenny. To be honest, like, okay, I think he's maybe worried about his h pawn. But what about just playing h4? You know what I mean? Just play h4. Don't worry about it. I think queen. Yeah, I think this queen. This is an adventurous move. This queen. Because remember, the queen, the knight, the rook, they're all just doing a job in the center over here. You can now push on this side. You know, try and create something. If he goes therefore, you've got takes, and then you push here. And now the problem is you've got this, which means this move is back into play. Guys and their attack, the guys and their piece movement. Also piece placement. Yeah, no, Queen C2 does wonderful here. There's no counter-attacking move. Now the problem is you've got counter-attacking moves like Queen here check. You've also got to be careful like things like this. Okay? What about a move like Rook A6? How does Rook A6 sound to you? No, it's all knight A7, but I was also looking at Queen takes, Rook takes, but then you got Queen takes, so I realize. But it's an interesting move. It's one of those things that you look at, right? You look at here, but I like Rook B8 much better. I do like Rook B8 much better. Tricks all over, absolutely. Who's still playing? Andrew McInnes? Yeah, this is a draw. Knight A4, you say? A4. Yeah? No, you want to open that king up, don't you? Ooh, I don't know about this move so much. don't like a king in the corner. A4 now. No. Should have played rook b8 when he had the chance, eh? I'm curious. Queen d3 I know was wrong. How's that? All in agreement, rook a b8. Top move. Top move. Yeah, with queen d7, but you can still just play rook g8. The king's got h7, you're okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I told you rook a6 was coming. I told you rook a6 was coming. He just played rook a6. And that's over. What? There's something wrong with this position. Oh, he went queen d7. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Cheers, Malazzi. Yeah, that was a bad move. Rook a6 just handed it. And I told you rook a6 was coming because it looked interesting, but it doesn't work. The knight f7 is a nasty move. And he resigned. Hey, Kenny. That is sadness. All right. This is one game, and I'm really not going to do this one. GG. Thanks for playing. Yeah, I'm not going to do this one. It's got no real bearing to the tournament, to be honest. I'm going to go have a good night. I'm going to have a good night. Check me tomorrow, guys, for the last round. And we'll see you guys again soon. Nice seeing you, Chess Doctor. Have a good one, Balazzi. Ciao for now, boys and girls. Thanks for joining.